Yeah. They said a punchline is just a joke, just a clever sentence. Nah. A real punchline hits harder than a fist, lives longer than a headline, and echoes louder than applause. Yeah, I came from the bottom where ambition was rare, where dreams got laughed at before they got air. Everybody had advice, but nobody had a map. Everybody loved talking, nobody loved the trap. So I sharpened every sentence like a blade in the dark, turned frustration into fuel, turned a flame to a spark. Every loss became a lesson, every scar became proof that pressure makes diamonds when it can't find a roof. I was writing through the nights while the city stayed asleep, planting seeds in the shadows that I later get to reap. No shortcuts, no miracles, no magical key, just a war with my limits and the vision I could see. Now they ask where the confidence came from, like courage wasn't built one battle at a time, like greatness just appears out of nowhere overnight, ignoring all the storms hidden behind the spotlight. See, everybody loves success when it's standing on a stage, but nobody loves the chapters written before the page. Nobody sees the sacrifice, the fear, the doubt, only the victory speech after you figured it out. What's the hardest punchline ever written? Maybe it's proving every critic was mistaken. Maybe it's surviving when they expected defeat, standing back up every time life knocked you off your feet. What's the hardest punchline ever made? Maybe it's turning every wound into a blade. Maybe the greatest line was never said aloud. Maybe it's becoming everything they said you weren't allowed. The crowd loves a winner but forgets to climb. They celebrate the moment, not the years of grind. Everybody sees the crown but not the weight it brings, or the sleepless nights attached to championship rings. I learned early that attention has a price, and every level gain comes with a sacrifice. The higher that you rise, the farther that you fall, which is why I built foundations stronger than the wall. People throw opinions like confetti in the air, but opinions disappear when results are standing there. Funny how the doubters suddenly become fans when the impossible starts fitting into plans. They called it luck, I called it preparation. They called it talent, I called it dedication. They called it timing, I called it persistence. Because success isn't magic, it's resistance against fear, against failure, against every reason to quit, against every voice saying you'll never be it. And here's a twist nobody wants to hear: the enemy was never standing in the mirror. The enemy was every excuse I ever made, every opportunity I was too afraid to take. What's the hardest punchline ever written? Maybe it's proving every critic was mistaken. Maybe it's surviving when they expected defeat, standing back up every time life knocked you off your feet. What's the hardest punchline ever made? Maybe it's turning every wound into a blade. Maybe the greatest line was never said aloud. Maybe it's becoming everything they said you weren't allowed. Yeah. I used to think power was making people listen. Now I think power is keeping your own vision. When the world starts pulling you in every direction, trying to trade authenticity for acceptance. See, fame is loud, but purpose speaks deeper. Money buys comfort, but character's a keeper. 1,000 compliments won't heal one lie. That's why truth is the only thing money can't buy. I've seen people chase applause till they lost themselves, trading real happiness for trophies on shelves. Running so fast they forgot where they began, till success introduced into a stranger in the glass. That's a lesson I carry everywhere I go, because the brightest lights can cast the darkest glow, and every dream fulfilled creates a different test, asking whether achievement really brought your best. So I stay grounded, stay hungry, stay aware, because success can disappear faster than it appeared. One bad decision, one moment of pride, one step too far, one truth denied. That's why discipline matters more than hype, then consistency matters more than being light. Because legacies aren't built from one great day, they're built from showing up the same way. What if the hardest punchline wasn't about somebody else? What if it wasn't an insult, a joke, or a clever setup? What if the hardest punchline was looking at your old self and realizing you became the person you promised you'd be? Think about it. The kid who was doubted, the dream that got mocked, the door that got slammed, the opportunity blocked. Years later you're standing where they said you never stand, holding proof in your heart instead of anger in your hand. Because revenge fades quickly, but growth lasts forever, and becoming better is the strongest answer ever. You don't need to scream, you don't need to boast. Results speak louder than the loudest post.